somebody like Pate, you can understand. Because even the club, they are managing the number of minutes over there. It is possible, Crass, ABI and the court issues near the crown. He is not even permitted to travel to ABI a place like that. Though a competitive game at the money club. Yamfana Kwankobo chat animal and Yamfana ma.
I'm not talking about Chad Wambo. This is a preparatory game for your World Cup.
Tournament. Uko tournament, not now. When it comes to the player squad from the goalkeeper anyway, what I'm saying, I don't have any problem with it. There's a time coach, at the build it style. Or the build this setup, no person or go into games. So say offer obia any more saying offer maybe a dinketia money we but I don't have a problem with it. I want to see a game plan with these two games. Say Ghana call into these two games. So now we see a structure, a game plan now. Personally, I'll be happy because we are trying to build on something. So now can any AFCON competitive games about?
Yeah.
So these are few games we need to prepare well. With squad in there, I know with the next friendlies, with the next wave collapse, there will be 1 or 2 changes. So there are almost 6 players missing out of the squad. Even crowd moves still we are having quality. So about the defensive, the goalkeeping side, I think some of the goalkeepers, said Joseph Annan, needs to be given the chance to also put himself. Me who there is Cone in the squad. I just say me names now with the FIFA when BBA Timia Koye, Amasio Betimia, but want to see his inclusion, what he's going to bring into the team. I think Jerome Opoku, we Kalepire and Chimu, they've showed, say, if they are being given the opportunity to beat Miabo. And Gideon Mensah, this squad, it looks more of, we are going to be playing in a 4-back system. Because me who a lot of wing backs in this defensive line. So likely it's going to be a 4-back system. If you are Abu Francis, he was one player. Onya a chance by Black Star and Medu baby not on Timinia collapse. So coming into the team, no, I think so also say Thomas Patemo and Bar. He needs to also prove something. Prince Owusu getting a call up from one of the local players with Timinia call up Abim, no. There's also an opportunity for them. So I think in Fifi Hodie, on any day, I think that it looks a bit light. A bit light with quality because in himself Kwesizibo or Bar Black Star and Mabebo 2-3 games are mine. Christopher Bambonzu on also yen last friendly caps be near Koboy no Timini be boy. Kamal Dean with Timia Webu or Bar Ebe share that is the first goal Emma the Black Star. So I think in Fifi Hono and when they looky a bit we lane mammy but any morning so Antoine Semenyo Prince Owusu any other players almost be beam. I think that the squad need here. I want to see a blueprint on what we want to do. Say a 3-back system, a 4-back system, and a 4-3-3. This is how the coach is looking at going forward with the squad, going forward with the Black Stars. In the way, justify your inclusion. Say I'm kind of players, nibi. Some of the local lads know my baby room. Some of the players and they meet me about baby room. Be where I from, but some collapse or meet me any opportunity and back. Obite Christopher Babunsu and now that tournament a couple with Nigeria mo and no timid baby room and they wait me as some baby room. So it's a timer. Household names need to me and be more. These young chaps needs to show say they can also prove a point, play the style of Otto person board and going into the World Cup almost wait me as an opportunity need to me room. So with the squad, I don't have any problem with it. Though it looks light, but I think said this is the time coach needs to me more of the groundwork, setting up his team well, and the way of person the team no able.
Yeah, Vincent.
Yeah, used to. Is it? First of all, before I'm about squad name, I don't know why always, whenever there's Black Stars color, Ghanaians have to beg for us to see the squad. And is it whether we like it or not? Some of us and some people will definitely know some of the players are Omoko. Just like Midiama Boise, 2 days ago, we saw them at the airport. Benjamin Asari, right after the Super Clash, he was at airport. I'll call Japan. So you see, this is a friendly match. And you say you call AFCON tournament B. And you say Baby Boy World Cup qualifiers B. So no pressure. To be very honest, if some clubs wants to protect their players, and if the medical staff of both the Black Stars and the clubs are players, need to person protect some of their players, you can still go ahead with the squad. Now, people were saying is that probably some players are dropping out. Players who were initially part of the squad, they are dropping out. Now, squad nearby, it means that there's no any replacement for these players, at least on my free mo. So why do we have to hold the squad for Ghanaians to talk, bring bad energy to the team? And this is, your friend is saying, part of our preparations. And it's quite unfortunate, 6 players. I move 4 air leaders, captains. I say here starting a preparation to the World Cup for them to, drop out. You see, with the exception of Mohamed Kudus, with the exception of Abdul Fattah Issahaku, listo. Other 4 players no Kadimina, they have to be in the squad. Argentina for them qualified that. Messi
say be a party because of the age. They are managing.
Then he should retire.
No,
Managing
you need to manage.
Then I'm just saying,
they are looking at the travel. You see,
a friendly game now.
They are looking at
a friendly. This is a preparatory game for your World Cup. Say if a friendly game, so we have to. Let some.
What justify no? What I say?
No, there's nothing like what justify. Then if then you more Black Stars in there. People out of these 6 players, Yama Salisu money Atizigi money Addo Omabobi the names of my justify one. Sesame also justify. I didn't know moment.
There be
virtually new players.
Oh, my Obomudin, you'll be able to meet fan to party.
It's nothing like home team found to party.
Why never to me don't want to do?
What is the reason?
There be I'm telling you, sir. Somebody like Pate, you can understand. Because even the club, they are managing the number of minutes over there. I was serious. It is possible, Crass, be any court issues near the crown. He is not even permitted to travel to a place like that. A whole lot, what I say, and also you'll be he's somebody, he's at the twilight of the career. What to mean for Semenyo, Bear Martin Kola West, what to mean for them to talk? Even party. It will be BM. What's it?
Also same.
Now your problem is young for big players.
Big players. No. What I'm saying is, you say you uncle Afcon, as you said earlier. We're a preparatory game towards your World Cup. So, in as much as some Ghanaians believe that we're in your World Cup qualifiers, and it's just a mere friendly game. The players, the management, and some of us, we have to take these things here because after all, Black Stars, you're born air time.
Now, I you and no saying it's on the coach. It's not on the coach.
Yes, so that is what I make.
Or no, a party. Your called Chad. He didn't play.
You see, that is different. I'm not talking about Chad Awambo.
I'm also talking about the fact, sir.
Who say they are protecting him? And
of course, yes.
You say, Partey has been playing 90 minutes regularly for Villarreal.
It makes sense.
How does it make sense?
It makes sense because now what your role now Obono, the age, the injury record, and the distance now omu corner there now, it might affect me in terms of a fatigue ebe ko ni na mu ni ade ade.
You see, we shouldn't.
Wow,
we shouldn't.
As a man now can.
O
be say ebe man sana. Me say ni man can ni injury, me say ni injury record. Player be injury record me ba. Player Partey
here no game mind. What are you talking about? You are preparing team tournament to see
tournament. Who got tournament no china.
Partey ni a yi boy. How many times have people have saying say we haven't got somebody only Partey regularly. O say you
prepare team now for tournament or china.
Bro, a step by
so
step.
would you like Thomas Partey to come?
What are you talking about? A preparatory tournament. Whether tournament
maybe AC.
You cannot tell me say
then you miss out of the World Cup.
Partey Kwade we can make an excuses for him.
And I'm just excuse me. What on what base? And tell me by
basis in Metro say.
I mentioned Fattah Issahaku.
Meba.
Fattah Issahaku did not kind. He's been out for 6 months or by few games. So it makes sense.
Say only say the first meba. The first the first way Oba no ball games. Yeah, excusing no.
Of course.
Because he needed time. Though Obo competitive game at the Money Club. Yamfana nkwa nkobo chat animal de ne yamfana ma.
Oba na afena
meba nyabo tre meba. But no Obo.
I know about 2 games, just 2 games.
Rest to still Obo. And on pray. I
understand.
You understand say.
But coming from understand.
But any moment no
age one age
check party games. Apart from the last game you against Espanyol about 90 minutes. The last any rival can even against Pafos the Champions League. He was on the bench, Wambobi. Then again,
what I did, I didn't say so.
It's not Mikasa was.
So what I
saying since the start season, Makacho was a Villarreal. There's been rotations. It's not about injury management.
Anytime management.
What? And I'm just any about injury. Coach is selecting.
Meba. Asam na yeka meba.
Party they're starting like management.
See, adia me dwun aya me ntiase ne say obi ka asama. You don't take certain part of assembly and nipa na can now find your analysis. Me see based on meba. Based on diabetes. Based on the injury records. Enya ban so or injured. Enya kan last time injury records enya pass.
Injury records yes.
Meba.
If you was at Arsenal, no, this season. You cannot tell me say player with injury record.
This season yemfa obi tell Avia anya example. Or injury record.
Oh record. Rich James mu nyina injury record.
Some of one they different. Is it?
There different. How is it different?
Rich James. Obi say no
manage one with time.
But I know crown to be part. You can be a record out there.
Obetimi akọ.
Vincent, you be south say. There be tea.
Ultimate can say because of the players been playing. When was the last time Pato was sidelined because of injury?
Yanka injury. Minka injury.
So what record?
Because the injury record.
I had anything.
Me say injury record. See, me say yet I say you name the reason why all the players say pull it out. You name the reason why. Up to now, you name Kudus time or returning from injury. You name. It is possible. Meba Obianim wahin.
Obianim say Kudus. Obianim
wahin. The enemy say Wambo. Report. I don't want to return date. And I return date to the bank. Return date to the bank.
Coach mentioned.
Return date to the bank.
It's not about return date.
It's about them.
It's about injured.
Return date to the
training. And I'm sure say
return date to the bank.
Don't ask me return date because I don't know.
There been out in the
I'm sure you say coach number out to play and player. So what are you asking return date for?
I was saying
okay, Thomas Frank Kudus injury no ka say den.
He mentioned say.
O say den.
Mami Charles who say den.
Injury near den.
What about injury? Nipa so injury. Whether head injury, the code mentioned right after the Chelsea next game said the player is injured. So Champions League game number 1, he's not going to play, and he will be available for their next game. Their next game, they asked him. He said he's not fit enough. And since Chelsea game, on your training, you asked him in return days.
ABI or injured say obe miss a Tottenham last game, but ebi onye injured say obe miss a Ghana game on Friday. What about that?
Kudus there, no, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Of course, when Yambo last to go on your training, he's not fit enough to come and play this game.
It can only make sense when Coach Nika say, "Oh, well, he's been injured for 2 weeks or 3 weeks."
No, the question is injured. After Chelsea game, there's been
Why
do you want to know?
Kudus injury near a knock, and he has 75% chances of playing.
So I don't need it makes sense that Thomas about 90 minutes last year.
Friendly against friendly as a coach need the team. Send your person ball.
Not the team. No, call players in the own form here. Blasters ball
players. Now Blaster boy am fan call players never boy.
You let me continue. Now after party, Jiku. Also abonnent. In fact, almost last 4 games, Jiku was suspended in their last 2 games. Or the red card. The last 4th game Wambo. The last but 3 game Wambo. And almost last 2 games, Nina Jiku abo. Jiku wasn't injured. He played the 90th minute. So why is he not part of the squad? Now Jiku is not here. Who is replacing Alexander Jiku?
yeah build team. Easy, quite disappointing. Say, you be tournament, you qualify, you go AFCON, then you withdraw. Jordan Ayew, he played 73 minutes in Leicester game. When he was coming out, he wasn't like Senna Jordan Epra. They replaced him. It was a tactical change. So why is he not coming? Now to the other 6 players of Maka, I think that Inaki in himself on there, he has been out for some time. You know, also return. So it makes sense that Obeman arrested. But aside Kudus, then Abdul Fattah Isaaku. None of these players and but now virus on fast squad. So I'm sure if the report say you hold the list, no, because some of these players a free squad. Now look at the defenders I have from. Who replaced Jiku? So if you say a tournament where money manager say a mere tournament and a mere friendly games, and who here he doesn't see this game to be a preparatory game towards a World Cup game. That is on only opinion. But this game, arguably,
opinion.
Oh, I have opinion.
World Cup qualify.
No, I have opinion. Say, because it be a preparatory game. I will say a friendly game. So, and who
here? Preparatory game in a friendly game.
But they will say who here. That is what you are saying.
Who here?
Of
the
course.
Best thing is a coach.
Anytime say a opinion. Now, if you look at the squad, various of our squad, Mohamed Salisu, Ebenezer Anan, Kojo Pomprepra, Jonas Sajete, Jerome Opoku. There's no new addition. Because he's coming directly because Jiku pulled out in it. You didn't replace Jiku. Now, over midfielder, we don't have Mohamed Kudus, who has been a solely number 10. Same way on the number 10 role in there on one elbow. One Kudus, we have a backup to Mohamed Kudus. Now, Kudus, 2 games. In fact, for the past 2 weeks, he hasn't been on any training in Po. So it doesn't make sense. Some remember Black Stars. Now he's not in. When they replace Mohamed Kudus, nobody. Now, Ushe team we have only one number 10 pe. That is Prince Owusu, media guy. No. Afei, Jordan Ayew a frame. Probably we can say yeah the Prince of say Owusu. Eba replace Jordan Ayew. Now, Ushe Prince Addo Kwabena. He's also a player that people have been watching for. In fact, with the exception of Antoine Semenyo and Brandon Thomas Asante, none of the Black Stars and Ghana attackers being elsewhere or more goals than Prince Addo Kwabena. So with him, or no inclusion, and normal because there are a lot of other strikers are new opportunity from in this game. Now, if you look at this game, now Thomas Partey Amba, probably we can say the Abu Francis and never be replacing him. But Abu Francis is not a new player. List we have just only 3 number 6 and number 8 players. 3, that is Calibirenshi. Or no, a number 6. He plays as a central, that central midfielder as a DM role for Northern. But at the Black Stars, he has been playing as a right back. And in the last game, I boy against Mali, I'm going to be pushing by midfield. And some of us are hoping that Calibirenshi will play his natural position for the senior national team, the Black Stars of Ghana. So probably with the absence of Thomas Partey, Caleb, I'm hoping say Obeboni role. Now we Caleb free ho, we Abu Francis free ho. Now we Kwesizibo free ho. These are the only number 6 and number 8 in this squad for the tournament. Probably Abu Francis, he has been playing for Toulouse for regular time. Prince Owusu, appearances in professional football for media man in do 30. We have Kwesizibo, who hasn't been playing. Now, where is Elisha Owusu? Elisha Owusu, Oxe a game on ball recently, he played. So to me, I think that if these players, you better withdraw these players, we should have given chance to some of these players. You see, and when they can say how we've been doing our youth football, a bit affecting, and it will be very hard for us to at least get AFCON BBG, because if you look at Morocco, from a youth system, under 17, under 20, under 23, promotion, none of these players here are more this current Black Stars team, no, and on this current collab. And if free under 20, I'm about the last under 20 AFCON and our none of them. The only player who recently got called up to the national Black Stars from under 20 was Jerry Fee. He's not here. And then Kevin Nkrumah, our medium boy. And at 20, when you're final selection. But then we believe that he is fit enough, he is that good enough to play for the national team, the Black Stars of Ghana. And then Osman Ibrahima, yeah, friend in recent times, where is he? Probably a bit like I said, Kamaldeen Suleiman and Antoine Semenyo, they are ahead of him at the pecking order. But he is a player potentially, and clear that say the 26-man squad, the 30-man squad, now the wing runners, the attacking role, you have 2-2 or 3-3. Probably he's going to be in. But now you have Kevin Nkrumah. No, I mean no disrespect to the team Obo and the league Obo. But is he better than some of these players are or more? So to me, I believe that if some of these players are on my Friendlies squad, we should have invited more of these players to give them the chance. Because Christopher Bambozu was getting chance in an order. Now, all these 6 players are move free. There's nothing shows there. Players don't move free, anything the squad need delay. Now, inclusion is very high. Apart from just 3 deputants, I have from we Kevin Nkrumah, we Prince Addo Kwabena made in call up, then Prince Owusuno. None of these players, any new, we now have been consistent. It means that these 6 players need free, yet any call up to cover them up. And I'm not saying it's no good to protect players. Yeah, who Enzo Fernandez, who has been battling with knee injuries, then call up and everybody says, oh, yeah, I'm friend. Then me afraid the for the never replace. It doesn't mean some squad about. The squad will come. And so you do but then I just say, oh, because of health, say, Lami Yama, he even reported for the Spain national team. But I'm in the test, they believe that because of ne pull back here, he needs 7 days to 10 days rest. And then my friend, so uncle back, same as Moses guy said, it happens everywhere. But yeah, the end. A first guy was, oh, we called Thomas Partey because of this. You be holding list now. Now, when the team, some of the players arrived in Japan, we call FA website, FA social media. No communicate about players are on arriving. No communicate because you team if I list them out into official websites and social media, digital handles of the GFA for the Black Stars. In team posting now face squad number. Players no be bring now Kwakodu, Semenyo, all of these players, most of them are there. So probably we should take this game seriously. In fact, the game na here apart from say ya winning games are there qualify for World Cup. We are here to find your identity. We are here to build our team. No? So this should have been a perfect opportunity for us to implement on whatever you want to do. So how our players need more if yeah, I kept talking about AFCON there and Kadawa and normal. But AFCON and we are taking for this game as if say it's just a mere friendly, and probably after this game, I don't think none of these 2 games will be able to win. Yeah, you see a lot of pressure coming in. Then your next qualifier match for the next AFCON, any friendly games, I proud to your World Cup games. They both say then limited time. Players no new additions unless any player be a friend and he's coming straight into the team. So to me, at least I think that we have to put a stop to squad now ever late. If Jordan are you, if Salisu, you want to manage, will keep players who feel oh this game Krano, who the management team and the coach, you don't see this game to be so much so important. Then the players are with them because reporting just said all these players were part of the squad and no marriage draw through 1 or 2 reasons. So who are their replacements? Does it mean that we are not scouting? Does it mean that we are not looking beyond Jordan Ayew? Does it mean that we are not looking beyond Alexander Jiku and all these players? So to me, squad now and Bantam. I mean, this game, the point to be about a preparatory to our World Cup tournament, and we should do according to whatever we want to do. Because other teams are competing with World Cup. I'm not from Oba's players. If Oba now on your fit, they don't have any issue. Oba come back. They will call somebody to replace you. Who were critiqued by Liverpool? First international break in this season. He wasn't called to the national team. But injuries by. They called him. Then there was another communique say, oh, Hugo Ekitike has been called to the national team because of CCCC. By here, because you see Jiku Emba, Isahaku ain't member. You're holding list. listeners and out now 22 players. It doesn't look like you're fair. To be very honest, the squad doesn't look and keep balanced in 2-3 central midfielders. You're now 10 year back. It means that we are going to play another player out of position. So to me, I think these are basically the new old players now, but the recall inclusion means that now the international clearance it has been confirmed. So Hukon is in. We have 3 left backs and just 1 left back. So probably if you look at the list, it doesn't look likely. Secondly, Berenchi everybody natural position. Probably even if Obebo na say manage Ali to say do on so free AC or buy on so say percent you manage Ali to say do or any fatal say come in free ACL injury 6 months 7 months. I want back. Ali to say do has been playing consistent for Renee. That only the young protected. Why didn't you protect Ali Duseidu? Now, apart from Ali Duseidu, no natural right back in the team. As far as I'm concerned, Calbi Renchi is not a right back. Obo position Iboniye. Dear. But then, we check here. So, we uniforms on Fanny Kamefel means that we have just 2 central midfielders in the
team. He has been playing right back.
That is what I'm saying.
That is where the coach sees him.
If me uniform midfield card and can't defend this one as how the list is here, it means that you will just 2 central midfielders playing the whole team. That is Kwasizibo. Any Abu Francis. And so it means that we boss are 2 games now. But we name say when we have other players involved that these players playing time no money. We are always be and a particular way but we've not been seeing that chemistry. So to me, list there is not balanced and list here, but it doesn't mean I don't know the reason why it kept so long for Ghanaians to talk Tuesday and then Yamiad Mochina, Omoye training, Thursday Omoye training, 2 days, they will play their first game. Another 2 days training, they will play their second game. Then that is over. To me, I think the squad, there's nothing new about the squad, with the exception of Kevin and Kroma, and Prince Owusu be ball in the game. The new striker by Prince Owusu Montreal for number 9 or no so the aba. So to me, I don't see anything new from this squad. Emma squad nature, but probably it's going to be a preparatory game. We are going to see how Otto will integrate. Some of these games are Ebebama Yadiako World Cup.
Yeah, Vincent. What should the coach get from these friendly games? Of course, Yen said Ghana has never been serious about friendly games. We have never been serious about our friendly games. Anytime be about friendly games, we see some of these things. Players pulling out, fresh players at the Omba be shame near there. You any seriousness. So if you are a coach, what should you look out for? Of course, the results, you will not get the result because you are going to play a full set Japan team because Japan for Nankasa, they don't have many players be brave. No, your luxury of selecting some and leaving some, right? Korea, they don't have a lot of good players. It is 20 no more good. They make sure that they call the 20 all the time to build on it near the other. What should the coach? How should the coach go into this game, and what should he look out for? And we as Ghanaians, how should we accept whatever results that will come from this way, based on the collapse now?
Yes, I think say Ushe with the collapse now. To me, friendly games are meant for the coach to try new things, to explore, to try new players, to give opportunity to 1 or 2 players. In himself, there's some players in the squad. On any day, it's a Ghana Abo gamer. More chances of playing a little. This is the time they need to also put up their best. Maybe Jiku ni ho, Pate ni ho, Kudus ni ho. We have somebody who would come in and play. Every time the issue I have, mostly we try to call out our big players. They do games say now they are pulling out. We try to call them out, but nipa. In football, time be better na football. The benefit on our be. The curve of the season I do, and their teams they are now looking at them players in Pobe call AFCON. How can they get maybe other players in a bit me bomb? So this is a game to me. is a game for Otto. And idea say Ghana for who say if we go into these 2 games near winner, it shouldn't be an issue. We want to see a game plan. You qualify say abu now to say ye boni bi keke. Ye per results no. Ye per se qualify, but we want to see something. There are sometimes it's not a football club game. You could see say game ya mi team ya body o me lose but menya areshe mu bi say bibi papa aba. We also time Enzo Maresca for Chelsea first. The first game against Manchester City, Chelsea lose here by 2 goals back. Who be such Chelsea fan be obeka chose me hu bibi a me ni age. Me hu bibi a me feel say in a long term the positives beba. So this is what Ghanaians needs to be looking at. We want to see positives. Otuado, this is the time field your team in a way who as a coach, feel so system way the metiasi metimi abo. Intim percent the players ne ball. So say Abu Francis, say any other player no be jine mabo a. Ono so wa reshe mu say position where the me boy minim say e wo mitiri minim say Mohamed Kudus and Thomas Partey position. Ma mintimi yire me huna me mbo ni yi. Se ne ne say yakwa World Cup na ye fa Kudus a. Games I empese ma Kudus but mimi din na bebo mutiri mu first. So it's a chance for every player in the friend. I don't see anything bad people pulling out. Even though say you better feel say I didn't know me pull out. I didn't say. But if I was a Black Stars coach, most of these key players in coming from. Because if you want to build something new, you need people that they have the zeal to do everything our coaching back at home. And they know say or baba ya or ya ye say ne bema coaching headache on some of the key players. So I think say Otuado, these are 2 games he needs to show something. He needs to make Ghanaians know say Mr. This is the plan Ameko. And if he's to be able to win any of these 2 games, a plus man. Because of the squad our Ghana squad our friend it was light mine. It wasn't that with the top notch and but you who game plan is solid, which may we need 1 out of the 2, and ultimately we need all the 2. It shows say the Mohamed Kudus in Zube Somwa yede, Thomas Partey be Somwa yede, Alexander Jiku be Somwa, team libetimi aye, KCSN ye pen. So Otuado, this is the time I saw team show Ghani and say a Juma no person ye person dey call World Cup, person team ko achieve bibi. Na utimi put up a good game plan. Players in so many opportunity. Even the local lads no many opportunity. It may rad this team no. Unya opportunity say 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But kunhuna but ne the World Cup squad ne beba no. Ghana for ankasa ne bebo with a bet tie which is count because of performance out there in these 2 games. So I think say in a general overview no games we end up players so the Otuado to show Ghanaians what we should expect from our next AFCON qualifiers and even in the World Cup.
Okay, yeah, Vincent.
Yeah, you see, you mentioned the Ghana fans. I am friendly game serious.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why your tournaments are intimate at the end. You cannot, you see, friendly games, listen. The reason why there's different friendly game, even club teams. Omobo friendly games, indoors. Whatever why you know. And you see, the reason why friendly games are so important for international teams is that more time frame now see when they are even going to train. Just 2 days. Club training now usually 10 days they struggle. Sometimes so park so any players living these players they are coming from diverse clubs with different football identities. We'll be in a club about attacking football. We will start from the back. We will toward the team on starting from the back. So probably you won't be getting the kind of performance always on our club side. So to me, people that believe that friendly games are not important until the end for players definitely you do that. No, Korea now Qatar 2022. You know more your group. See how I pray and send a show more you go show. Japan, likely you meet him in the World Cup. Now, Argentina, they're coming to play a friendly game. Omoma qualified that. Messi. All these players, Omoba Luanda in Angola. Any Angola by a friendly game. You know, yes, a friendly match. But they know that your team now, some of the key players are proud. Whatever we want to do, we have to play because
players no omo ball omo club side. Whatever identity we also we have to play. They will say my players ni bonek eko common na no. So there's a reason why clubs, teams, they train always about friendly games. Apart from training, most of the clubs about indoor friendly games are probably it doesn't even come in closed doors. A marbon team, they play with under 23s, they play with other teams. So whether we like it or not, this friendly is important. And there is a reason why I say I'm not expecting anything new. Players I am from probably Kelvin Amankonano. Oh, check your list here. He's not going to be a starter. Prince Owusu striker. If you're picking order from the striking rule, probably Brandon Asante will start ahead of him because of also, he experienced how they form all. So they will all get minutes. But if you look at Ayina, Black Stars, they can't say, when we are watching Mali and other games in Chad, you see a team, you share their own identity. You could share team as a three back. You could share the you feel say only match attacking power near about 4 back. So the Black Stars team and your body in your face. So this could have been a perfect opportunity for us to try on whatever implementation to other person boys and body. This is a game. Probably point in shada at stake biasa. So so just give ideas. This is how we are going to play from now to June. Whatever we want to do at the World Cup, it starts now. So person about 3 back at the World Cup. It starts right from Japan, South Korea game. Now if Brazil and Senegal will be friendly match. Brazil and Tunisia will be friendly match. Senegal, Tunisia, probably they are going to play in the AFCON. But then it also serves as a preparatory match for them because when the Brazil will be a friendly match. Now our certain team how about no lose 2 goals or lose 3 goals. He knows a step in the right direction. Or be call AFCON. Or be about same formation, same style before ahead of the World Cup. Into one AFCON now we a lot of it. This is most of the games over fun is serious. So to me, I believe that maybe Moneyman who say serious, but with the squad I think the Otto fan is serious because this is the coach or not Sansano. People did believe that Ejuma needs a man to us. So against Japan and Korea, I don't think so. Otto agro. And me, if I'm me a coach, Jikuamba. In fact, he was also struggling with club football before somebody moved across Sparta Moscow. Say Jikuamba, now me bo Jonas, and now whatever I want to try, me try Salisu. Ni Jonas no minya that minya the perfect. We Jikuba probably umbo. Because the many free, you lose your position. So to me, I think that this friendly game, we shouldn't take it for granted. And very, very, very important for us. So the new players now about Prince Owusu Montreal, I think he's 28, 29 years or captain Montreal in the MLS. He's very experienced. So our back team now you say you call World Cup, now say Nike Williams we know somebody we can call on. Okay. So also the opportunity, new players. Amankona, Memendika say they are Nkrumah. They are players that omunya chance probably Omontimianteki. He was part of that 20 team, almost screening team in a Bayoko final tournament. I'm friend. When you call up, was starting Nkrumah. Yeah. When you call up to the Black Stars, the little minute.
Now what has changed from that time? Now you call AFCON now you am Fanankono. And then Bo Ben what you have born drastically. Amanda be pa under 24 now. No more ya the chain. Oba be po munina when no Black Stars call up.
Me, listen, I've been saying this. So, you see, the reason why a national team ain't even flourishing is one of these things. I've been saying this under 20. Listen, Aziz ya or Barcelona. You who is a under 20 and a bon number 10 for your tournament. But you see, when Mohamed Kudus every listening, he should have been somebody else and friend in the number. But in Krumano, in fact, Uchake media team now, especially in the Premier League, he's one of among players that they've been consistent. But they are not yet serving Ghana because this is one share go in the league. So probably there's been some elevation when he game anymore. Even if we train the game recently, Mediama for posting or more socials recently against Mediama, he was unplayable. But the thing is, does he merit it? And I've been saying it until say you been that channel. Oh, from under 17, And American, your current Black Stars squad, none of them no under 20 collab. Uji could do ball under 17 and 20 kakra. Now I said it the other time. None of them. Into check how I introduce you Jonathan Mensah, Samuel Nkum, Human Large Mabadu, Ransford or say, Andre the day you from the under 20 under 23. I don't buy Black Stars. No. In recent times, we've not been doing that. Obu are on man and same someone 20 that straight to the Black Stars. Obu are no because plan 20 slots. So does it mean that probably two things list to? It's either you're under 20 no. We've not and you local teams no. Yeah, the agency power any minimum players NAS selections no. So it means that the players who have been going to under 20 no list to, they are not good enough. And I say those players are missing out at the under 20 level. No. It doesn't mean that Kevin Kroma or Mesa under 20. Into no, or no as a player. No money ain't even cost. So, two things. So, the chance now, we should always do the right. Unless maybe, like I say, you play somebody under 20, which is the second team, under 23, which is the second team after the Black Stars. No. So, our players in there, they are not good enough. So, we have to call the right players and the correct players for your youth teams, no. Because checking Morocco, list to under 17. Recently, they've won the under 20. Most of them under 20 team, Morocco national team call up. No. Almost 5 or 6 of them are part of the current team. In the area, no, players near from under 20, no, yeah, no more in the but I mean, we watch the waffle. We can mention a lot of key players. I think in recent times, your friend Jerry, he was the only player. Your friend from under 20 nearby, but also your friend.
Yeah, Johnny Frey.
Yeah, Johnny Frey. But he's been playing in the Belgium league. So, listen to me, we have to take this friendly games, no. I mean, as high as you before any other game. The players of many new collapse, that 3 debutants, no. Prince Addo Kabinade, no, since last season, he's been scoring. Last Prince Owusu, no, striker now MLS, no.
Yeah.
Or she 13 goes in the MLS. So, who check all these players are one way or the other, no. I'm about to justify. So because at the end of the day, World Cup, there's no way you better drop Jordan and you have Prince Owusu. But we have other strikers from their country, Jordan and Union to answer. So also a right opportunity for him to exercise the inclusion into the squad henceforth. Kevin Nkrumah, a boy in the Ghana Premier League. In fact, we've seen players play in the Ghana Premier League. You bet from them Black Stars. They will play very well. Now, Senkasali Sumufimu, Nations for captain. He was coming to the Black Stars. Now he am friend. So it means that also the who say now no how I say your boy so we are trying new players. So all these games, whether we like it or not, are important games. If it's not important, then we wouldn't have traveled all the way from Africa to Asia say talk about these games. So it all depends on the technical team and the players are many they be Zabu Francis. So partay your fit. We a friend is saying Suleimana Ibrahim your fit. Abu Francis Netikika. But he has been playing for Toulouse, a late league in Europe, a part of the top 5 leagues in Europe. So you have no opportunity, with the absence of Elisha Owusu, with the absence of Thomas Partey, with the absence of Suleiman Ibrahim. Prove yourself. So what's your Benedict? It's not catch us a game in your important. Play your heart out.
Now can say
probably
Benedict.
Oh, now better was Abu Francis.
I say my make no unti
you
are saying
it's a game in your important.
That is a game in your important. This game is not for key players to come and exhibit themselves.
There's nothing like key players.
I
am preparatory game.
Say
key players.
Thomas Partey Thomas Partey no zomba Unjai Black Star nebo. How many players have pulled out from the Argentina squad? Simeone Bane pulled out. Julian Alvarez pulled out. Enzo Fernandez pulled out. And Untima Argentina from you.
Let's
put your differences aside.
Let's talk the pull out. I'm talking about the
Let's stop the pull out. And then the same pull out now. We're complaining
because because
yeah, can't Thomas
no,
Partey injury record who
any
complain.
injury record as him.
Julian Alvarez will pull out of Argentina due to
Julian Alvarez wasn't
yellow
not part
fever.
of the Argentina team, no. Listo, squad amba.
And I'm saying,
That is the differences
are
I'm
you
talking
complaining about the squad not coming early, or you are complaining about the players not coming? The squad not coming early, meba.
Do you know the
squad
reason?
not
Do you know the reason why?
meba.
Now, what you are saying?
Squad not coming
You know
early.
you're a Ghanaian.
Meba.
But you know the reason why 3 Argentine players pulled out from their squad.
Why I know there is, and I mean, besides the
Because
squad not coming
there was
early, no.
initial squad call up, and I'm as I was
Vincent, we should let people know.
People
Squad
know
not coming early, no. It's to the public's eye.
Why public eye?
Player be no wahai. Ye na ka say squad name by be
So-
who the players need
so there's a reason why make us say
meaning
you
they will be
know.
going.
So there's a reason because
So-
you know.
Why they don't want to do that? Ni say omunim nkofo omuni omuye adwuma.
Nkofo
And then
omuye
say Thomas Partey ni Jordan Ayew din wo na Ebeka say they pulled out because of injury. You get the same Ghanaians criticizing this place as you are doing here. So it's best to go
As
with
at now,
the
there's no official communique. from
What
the
is there is
FA
no official communique?
from the FA
For what?
as to why for the past 2 days it has
What
been
friend
ruling-
is squad?
What friend is
Say one
and
friend
then that's
Jordan
why,
Ayew
Abba.
one friend we are. Who report identity one friend players.
Of course they do that. They do
And
that.
I'm super
Otto
report
yet-
identity one friend players.
Of
You
course.
give you the report identity one friend players no. You there Argentina there na here can. Enzo Fernandez
see-
no can squad no.
Yes,
During Chelsea game,
squad by Ama Unwe.
Meba, Chelsea game.
And you-
Did you see
and you-
Enzo
man,
Fernandez
man, Chelsea game,
or Togum?
Man, hear Chelsea game.
Me share you saw Togum. The only thing I'm who on the pitch was Enzo Fernandez during the game. Okoko catch a medical team. Okoko can be chair with Enzo Maresca. Tie. The commentator on the night in Poker say, "Send your call on so catch a Maresca. So mu yin in film."
Now,
After the game, I say, "Oh, me ko join the Argentina national team because squad ne buy."
from who?
Meba.
No, coach.
Squad ne buy.
Well, wasn't it from Enzo
Meba.
Fernandez? Or Kase, he
Meba.
has been having
Meba.
knee injury. And I want
Squad ne
Yes.
buy. Now, if he's going out, there needs to be an explanation.
And
Yes,
yes,
squad ne buy.
yes,
Nipa ne the squad number but we are complaining say
You-
Argentina
Now,
more
you see,
protected Thomas
I'm
Partey.
not
Okay,
even talking
meba,
about the squad.
meba.
Who now,
The-
you were
you
saying
see?
say the Black Stars game that you talk about it's not important.
I never said it wasn't.
You said
important.
that.
I never used the word not
Who say
important.
here? What are you talking about?
See me. I never used the meba. May you use the word meba. Meba. Eze otie. May use ehun hia.
Who say
May
it's not
use is not
important?
important.
Hey.
My statement was this game is for Otto to make Ghanaians know say na me pese me bo. And you don't need keep
I
players to show
don't
it.
say who person trying to
Meba.
What
You don't
need
need
game in important.
Eze obi wa fun na
Eh,
utie.
Mama,
You
Mama,
don't need
Are you
keep
trying to
players
tell me
to
say
show.
you never mentioned say
Me-
this game is so important? This
Meba,
game is-
meba.
It's a friendly
Aye.
game.
Wait, meba. Mama, and fan on. You see, the difference between the kind of football or Ghana ha. Any ABA Argentina, right? It's Argentina shadio. Omo normal call up. Mame and share say ABA obia ye kwakobo serious matcher. Now obia ye ready. This is the squad that Omo rely on. Lionel Messi, that is almost strikers. No? Lionel Messi, Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, and Jose Lopez, strikers. Now midfielders, Masantuano, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, Rodrigo de Paul, Leandro Paredes, Nicolas Gonzalez, Giovanni Lo Celso, Ezekiel Palacios, and Alan Varela. These are the core players
Yes, yeah.
from the World Cup time. Omodiomba, Christian Romero, Nicolas Otamendi, Nahuel Molina, Nicolas Tagliafico, Gonzalo Montiel, Marcos Acuna, Leonardo Bellardi, Juan Fort, Marco Senesi. Okay, then the goalkeepers, Emi Martinez, and Geronimo Rulli, Walter Martinez. These are the key players on your way. Now, if you check if you check players no ages are Emi Martinez, 33. ruling is 33. Walter Martinez 32. And the fourth goalkeeper near Facundo Cambis on Racing Club on 28. So if you were a coach and omono how omo they trust their under 17, they trust the league that they play, and they trust their under 20 whatever. Omo trust you omo. So what they do is say they know say okay, these are the core players omo dey ekwe away. One ebimo den AAG. Sana make a goalkeeper say wo hwe defenders na Christian Romero was 27. To know the Obeka okay, key figure in the next 4 to 5 years. You can get 5 years from him. Nicolas Otamendi, 37 years. And possible say any injury be obenya bia no one way anabo no kra anya dey wan mobiem. So as a coach, you need to be planning for Nicolas Otamendi. Manuel we Nicolas Tagliafico mu any Marcus Acuna 34 years. Marcus Acuna no 34 years. Yeah. Now Senesi, Joan Fort Money at the do 20 so you can rely on them. Now you are going to look at okay now no Nicolas Otamendi, Nicolas Tagliafico, and now Marcus Acuna. I need to get players baby on war 21, 22, 23, 24. So almost where they are may monitor omo. Okay. Then over midfielder you were Giovanni Lo Celso 29 years. Leandro Paredes 31. Rodrigo de Paul 31. 80 you are looking at okay 3 players be one the next 5 years now we are when the unya so your young players be to say bia Masantuano any Nico Pass mo any Claudio Echeverri omo aboma na 17 no so omo no time bia to say window be say no when we say injury be Enzo Fernandez ohia time to recover no you can give these guys opportunity to come in obe from so many dombra and bano mo they are coming to make a claim is say enye so mba betu Enzo Fernandez but they are only telling the coach say look if Enzo Fernandez is ready I'm ready to play. Now what it means is say Enzo Fernandez because for your experience and what you've done for the national we will call you but one kasa na here front because okay Steven Appiah be can say those times William Thierry or make an example ni say sa match no she 2 goals but William Thierry no ball Liberty no and a man of the match it all the time ya so one ba omo nim say competition na e wo fie ni e den e wo soro nti omo media agro what I say it obi say Enzo Fernandez Alexis McAllister mu nyina nim say look if I don't pull my weight Nico pass money sa Echeverri money ade I'm sure you metima take me position ama anwe kura ye mfreme ana say ye frame kura na ono be bona me ye dem mete bench nti this is the competitive environment na ye kan wasem. Now look at attackers no Lionel Messi legend. Now they need to find a replacement for Lionel Messi, right? Julian Alvarez 25. Lautaro Martinez was 28 years. Now share Adie was say what Argentina for this is what they are doing. Joaquim Manicelli 23 years or a striker. Ezekiel Fernandez or a DM 23 years. Matias Soler 22 years, one of the key players for AS Roma. Giuliano Simeone 22 years, on put the team in the but look at the age. Valentin Baku, he can play as DM, he can play as CM, and he can play as a left back. Yeah. Alejandro Garnacho, Santiago Castro 21, Garnacho 21. Facundo Bonanotti 20 years. Claudio Echeverri 19 and Franco Mastantuano. They are saying that the future is what is secure. That is their under 23 squad that almost trying to what to replace Messi money at the idea. So in a case like this, right? We need to okay, you qualify we. Now from now till the World Cup, we know it is possible say okay Messi ni age in any way injury to me any injury. So what I say, You are not saying, say,
yeah, they were selected games.
Selected games. What I said. Then no man could have opportunities almost made them. Now, on no bono, on him say, Messi, ni so then I may Messi, me cut him nimu. He is coming to give him the best. But look at Yenya Diano. The issue is not about the players, no married draw. No. And this is a perfect opportunity. And Quebecers, okay. Now you're under 20 in your league, you know. You're under 17, you know. Why in your shana and the ball no one will bet me I replace Kudus in case I Kudus. We pray na be on to me ko and one bet me there. If you look at the team, there is nothing in there. So in this case, you don't blame players no more pull it out. No.
You are blaming the players no more pull it out. That's what I'm talking about.
Meba, mami make a point in your better say. So obi say naturally, ejuma mi wo mi hu ni say mi ni competition a. Ene metuma ka say me yare. Ade a enyo but me fan say ebia ye panel no, right? Be say for ngofo o ho a omukura no omunye opportunity. Emeye we me amakoma minimum say ngofo omu ye good but chance no munya ye no. Say me yare kura me kwa ejuma. That is natural.
Okay, 2010 AFCON. Squad they call 2010
yes.
AFCON. You may see out on
they almost
key players.
Yeah, oh yes. And yeah, so time now we had under 20. So you promote about best 7. And 7 young promote almost me bench. They started. We had a right back, left back starting for us. Right back, left back. That is Addo, no? Yeah. Started. And our right back, I think in Kumne Opare. Never started. Then we had a central defender in Jonathan Mensah. We had Momo Soko. No so the ebo. Ye benya Nicholas Opokwajiman. And I first say Opokwajiman. No or start game edema way. So the competition was there. So what I'm saying is in this case, your league in you trusted players now. And your own and yeah from say we are only going to what? They are only going because of Kudus Mamba. We are giving them equal opportunity, say. This is opportunity for them to grab the chance to be part of the team. That is the environment, the competitive environment in 2009, 2010. And the time in your competitive environment, no. Look at Jumedia Yekukudi or 2010 World Cup. Yeah. So look, it is not about players no more pull out. Players no more pull out. More pull out because Pate believe say ene opa oda na osore no who no he is going to the World Cup. There is nothing like say you will play bi o honuma. Or no are you ready say obetima take over from him. And there's omo ye rofa. Enzo Fernandez ye rofa. Eye Masantuano money eye we muno. Obetima take on position. Say Pachinelli no. Striking now or striking the Ama Strasbourg. No. Say Lautaro Martinez man here. They can take him to the World Cup. Dropping Lautaro Martinez. They didn't amount for be. But it will not change anything because boy no any ball and he can lead Argentina to baby on person could be a promised land because was show quality and was show say he is ready to play. But yeah, no. Mediama boys here, the Oma can ye nim say, ye the Oma can keke. Naturally, ye obianim. Ye in creative competitive environment, our boy no him say, me, I'm going to be part of a team. I'm going to justify myself and going to the World Cup. That is the problem I mean with the whole call up na the Ebain. Now player Bena ni profile no closer to a year party. Auntie and a party pull it out. I was say day. Ye didn't call near the neck on to your man. Aquacobo. Elisha Wusu young friend. And it's in a young friend. This is a guy who has been part of the team. He has not been convincing enough for us. But he had only three midfielders now. What it means is that midfielders now man could be no. And him say their position is secured because you show based on the call up now. Any say, ya just say you replace your mo. Ya just say ya fele gap no. So even if say party age, anything I make us say be a managing minutes near there, I don't know anything to go by. Actually say in the next 3, 4, 5 years, no, we cannot rely on party again. So The Ben a year paper replacement. That is what we did with Asamoah. I feed Asamoah. Up to now, ye bobo la na man fogusu boni din because ye ntumi anya den replace no. Se na ki benya kokudro, na ki ya dropping no. Match bi wo ho no ya ma na tranche ne ya ma ebi mu aye den, aboy ya ma ebi mu confidence no. We didn't do that. Ya ma players opportunity to learn, to grow. Iti way ya fro bi am na me replace party no. What it means ni say World Cup time no. And in case I be a part, I suffer injury. Yeah, for be so may replace no. What I say, but this is the time. Yeah, call chat. Yeah, no be a replace party. To the sense, to the sense, the coach says, he consulted party says, up to now, say player can say no one we are still forcing him to go and play at an age. So that is the issue I had then. Yawo. That is the problem. Yawo with this particular call up. Apart from the players normal pull it out. And the baby players pull it out. England team no here. Players are pulling out to the sense Chaluba, they've called Chaluba. I'm saying say any injury Column was not there as so far, he might be caught. Because it appears that they are lacking wingers. And Tomato bit because a year from Anthony Gordon and I then Ephraim, they are one injury away to their winger. Just one injury away to face crisis. Wing on because left wing on and right wing on. Yimai. Noni madueke yede anyhow. So akasa kan kwa. Ti ome frebo win na yeden adenaba. Now the left side one mu Marcus Rashford in it Anthony God in a pra. And it appears how Grealish AJ Jambo so no. He is not an ideal attacker we pay. Yeah. So it is possible say Column was not doing a guy no. And possible say can you pra we pra. And come be friend. 3 Lions be friend for this particular because they are lacking wingers. You understand? We need to be serious as a nation, as a football nation. Your league, we don't trust the league enough. Best players in the league are not trusted to play for the national team. And Kromana,
are we trying to say Kromana the best winger in the Ghana Premier?
That is what we are trying to say. And Kromana under 20, he believes that he was not good enough to be part of the team. No. Today, Blasters. Tia say na yede aye show ne be